Some shocking information about Ariana Grande's mom. Apparently, she used to buy animal organs from the butcher and allow her children to play with them, and even use blood to paint on the walls.
An old rumor that human remains and evidence of cannibalism were found at Ariana's home in Chicago.
I have no problem with her getting paid $15 million. I think it was worth it. I just think that Cynthia Erivo should have been paid like the second most on the billing list.
We talk a lot about this pact that we made to take care of each other and to, be really honest with each other about anything that were to come up.
There's a bizarre article from 2018 where Ariana Grande's mother was interviewed and nobody anticipated Joan Grande talking about some of the creepiest, bloodiest, and nastiest stories I've ever seen reported in pop culture media. So let's get into it. Now, I'm just gonna say it, this is a bizarre video. It's not necessarily news, but it's some things I came across and I was like, holy crap, I need to bring this to my channel because you guys are going to be intrigued. Now, I'm not trying to trigger anyone, but we're gonna be talking about guts and organs and blood and things that you wouldn't expect to be associated with Ariana Grande, but I really want to go through this video and just really share what I found online because there are just a few articles out there that mention these things. I'm going to go ahead and just read this verbatim. Ariana grew up in Boca Raton, Florida, which love Boca. She grew up in a gated community of expensive and lushly planted Mediterranean-style homes. Her mother, Joan, Brooklyn-born and educated, owns a business selling marine communications equipment. Her father, Edward, is a graphic designer. Honestly, I never really heard much about her dad. Because the couple divorced when she was 8. Ariana grew up in character in a household that relished characters. The theme of her third birthday party was Jaws. She loved to run around the house in a Jason mask, and at Halloween, Joan liked to buy animal organs and leave them floating in dishes. Quote, "My family is eccentric and weird and loud in Italian," Ariana says. "There was always this fascination with the macabre. My mom is goth. Her whole wardrobe is modeled after Cersei Lannister's. I'm not kidding. I'm like, Mom, why are you wearing epaulets? It's Thanksgiving." Now that is just a little taste of what we're getting into because that was a snippet of an article. Now this entire article dove into something that maybe I'm just weird and I didn't grow up like this, but I need you guys to chime in the comments below. Like, I didn't play with organs. Now this article is from 2018. It's interesting. I'm noticing they mentioned the Jaws themed birthday party, but they say it was her 4th birthday. It's just a minor discrepancy, but I noticed these things. She said at this party, the parents were like, "Are you crazy? Our kids don't want to watch the Jaws movie on the big screen," but it was Ariana's favorite. Joan told Elle magazine, "I did the house up in things for Halloween that would give normal children nightmares." She says, "For example, I would go to the butcher, get heart organs or lungs, and then be like, 'Ariana, Frankie, this is a heart.'" Her trips to the butcher also followed for the children to exercise their creativity. The kids would paint blood on the walls, she added, "and what we promise to be the last squeamish thing you'll read here." Well, except for rather another heartwarming detail that I guess Joan remembers seeing Ariana's little handprints in blood, I guess, on the wall, which is really scary. Now, of course, I had to dive deeper because is this normal? I mean, did you guys do this when you were growing up? I feel like if I look at blood, I just start to faint. One person wrote on Reddit, "Anyone have a source for when she said her mom used to let her and Frankie play with blood, animal blood and guts on the walls or something? This might tie into her fascination with cannibalism and being sardonic, as she used to call herself allegedly." Wait, hold on, let me continue. Also, I find it sickening that she's never apologized to the families of Jeffrey Dahmer's victims about the pen interview, but Frankie made a response about the cannibalism rumors around the same time, which those rumors are ridiculous. So just backwards, he would speak out on those claims, but not the thing that actually happened. So I guess some weird pattern between these two. You know what's wild? You could be walking down the street or headed to the grocery store and then bam, you're in an accident. Suddenly you're dealing with injuries, bills, and an insurance company that's doing everything in its power to give you the bare minimum. It's gotta feel so frustrating. Insurance companies always seem to pull the same tricks, offering you the lowest settlement possible. But here's where Morgan & Morgan steps in and changes the game. Morgan & Morgan isn't just another law firm. They are America's largest injury law firm with 1,000 attorneys and offices in each state ready to fight for you. You don't have to deal with those insurance companies alone anymore because they've got your back. Take this for example. This year, they got a client in Florida at $12 million, way more than what the insurance company was offering. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle. They will continue to fight until you get what you deserve. And here's the kicker. The whole process is as easy as ordering takeout. You can submit everything from your phone. No need for paperwork marathons or endless appointments. And with Morgan & Morgan, you only pay if you win. So if you've been injured or you know somebody, don't just sit there. You can head over to forthepeople.com/Sloan, or you can check out the link in my description below. It's fast, it's easy, and it's free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan is the team that fights for you because they're for the people. Thank you for sponsoring this video and enjoy. Now, because there's all this talk of like blood and organs and cannibalism, I tried to find anything I could on social media to just like, what is this theme? Is there like connections here? Why are we even talking about this?
A bizarre rumor has resurfaced lately about Ariana Grande, and if you haven't heard it yet, I envy you. This video made its rounds recently, digging up an old rumor that human remains and evidence of cannibalism were found at Ariana's home in Chicago back in 2013. I tried to warn you. It's a doozy. Now, this was actually an old meme that has been taken seriously by some people over the years, and like any good meme, it just refuses to die. Her brother Frankie posted in her defense, "This might be the most creative and lowest y'all have ever gone. Besides, she's vegan." Since then, Ariana has told her fans that she's taking some time to focus only on Wicked, so the tour may not be happening all that soon after all this.
Not the, oh, she's vegan. I mean, true. I mean, I don't think anyone no one's really a cannibal out here besides Armie Hammer, not that I know of. But this person wrote on Reddit, "Joan is not getting side-eyed enough in my opinion. Ariana and Frankie both have issues. Plus of all, those perverted Nickelodeon scenes Ariana had to film. Throwback to those. It's hard to believe that Joan never watched any of that. She always acts like she's a protective mother, but something about her is shady." I'm not saying this, they're saying this. According to this interview, she put Jaws for toddlers to watch and she was surprised when the parents weren't happy. I actually see how Ariana can be related to her. I think it's probably, I mean, this person commented back and I think this is a good point. It's like parentification. I guess it's like, it's not the same, but it's like they're treating these young kids as almost like adults. Like, why would Ariana have her favorite movie Jaws when she's like, 3 or 4 years old? They should be watching like those really like shows that we hear in the background. And I feel like they're new characters every like 5 years. Remember when it was like little baby shark, shark?
Like, you could still be very goth and do that with like fake blood or ketchup. Going to an actual butcher shop, letting your kids play in animal blood is just unsanitary as hell. I also found it just a little bit strange how she describes it, finding joy in scaring Ariana's peers. For example, throwing Jaws themed birthday party and having the scary Jaws movie playing. And she often decorated her home even outside of Halloween with things that would give children nightmares. I don't know, I just think this adds another layer to the mother wounds that we were talking about.
Okay, let's get over the gore. I can't talk about this anymore. I do want to talk about some other conspiracies I found, and I wanted to talk about this back when we covered Wicked, but you know what? I didn't get to it, so let's get to it now. Now, obviously, there are like pay discrepancies in Hollywood, like women do not get paid as much, or possibly, I don't know if it's that way anymore. I mean, big stars get paid a lot. I know that. I mean, the smaller actors get just a fraction. That's why a lot of people struggle to survive out here. It's an expensive city. Now, I saw that there was some agreement between Ariana and Cynthia that they were both getting paid the same, but I found a few articles that contradict everything. Multiple outlets reported that Ariana actually got paid $15 million for the movie, which Cynthia got about $1 million for her part. Now, I don't know if you guys watched Wicked. I really enjoyed it, but I do feel like both of them had equal screen time. I don't know by the minute. I'm sure someone has it out there, but they both seem like they're like kind of equal leads, right? Or was Ariana the main lead? But it's interesting because there were other characters like Michelle Yeoh and Jeff Goldblum who were paid about $2 million. So even more than Cynthia, who, I mean, we all heard her, wow, wow. My voice is like a little like, oh, I'm not even going to try. British actor Jonathan Bailey reportedly got $450,000 to play the love interest of Ariana's in the film. So, people make different amounts. People are worth different prices. I get it. Like some people are going to be more expensive to cast and to have their time. And, Ariana could maybe go and make that in music or in touring. But I don't understand this much of a discrepancy, or at least the fact that Cynthia is making less than those two other stars who were not even in the film as much. But you know, Ariana has stated that she had gone through her contract with Cynthia, so they're all in the clear about it. Just if these were true, something seems a little bit off, because I feel like Cynthia would at least make a little bit more than that.
Ariana Grande is talking about the pact that her and Cynthia Erivo made when they first started working on Wicked, and it kind of ties into pay disparity rumors. And people were throwing a fit, like rightfully so, but also it was never confirmed. It was just random accounts. Well, Ariana recently spoke with the SAG-AFTRA Foundation, and she brought up how close their bond was, including how they broke down their contracts when they first started working on the film together.
We talk a lot about this pact that we made to take care of each other and to, you know, be really honest with each other about anything that were to come up. But I don't think people really get how granular like we got and how fully we mean that. Like, we sat there and, you know, when I got my contract, I called her and I was like, hey, let's go through this thing. Like, let's go beat per beat through this together and make sure that we're aligned in what we need, because if you need something, we need it together. I want us to have each other's backs. Like, your problems become my problems and mine become yours.
Now, the film supposedly made $114 million in the US during its first few days out. And it looks like in Australia, I don't know why we're talking about Australia, but they made 10 million. Shout out to Australia. But there are more reports of these salary rumors. And again, it is not confirmed. And you see Cynthia, who I thought was like a lead, is like fourth over here. And Ethan Slater, he's walking away with $350,000, but he does have that new girlfriend, Ariana. This person commented, I can believe Ariana getting paid a little bit more than everyone else, but not 13 million more. Essentially, the reasoning has become that, you know, these are big names. Ariana Grande is a huge name. Jeff, Michelle, they're all big names, which is why they're going to make more. And if Cynthia seems happy, then everyone else should be happy. But I think also there's this feeling of it was such an impactful movie. She did so well. People just want her to also get the same treatment. One person wrote, so it's not okay to be talking about pay disparity. Got it. Another person added, let's also discuss that Ariana is a musical producer on the film while Cynthia is not. So that might be where the money's coming in from. This person wrote, I hope all these discussions about the pay disparity between cast members of Wicked inspires privileged folks in all industries to have more of an open and transparent discussion of their pay with the marginalized folks that are doing equal work to them. And I said this earlier, but like, I know people who are in acting out here, and it is very small unless you are the lead. And also at the end of the day, it's not like, I mean, this movie brought in a lot of money, but like, television is really rough. Now, I don't know where these rumors came about, but the studios were quick to shut them down. Keep in mind, they've got part 2 coming out this year, 2025. So they want to make sure there's a great tone, you know, everyone has a good taste in their mouth, leaving the Wicked, you know, theme era and moving on to whatever's next. Oh gosh, what's next? But they call these rumors completely false. They say reports of pay disparity between Cynthia and Ariana are completely false and based on internet gossip. The women received equal pay for their work on Wicked.
Breaking news. I have gotten DMs from multiple Hollywood insiders that say it's not true. Cynthia Erivo did not get paid just $1 million for Wicked, whereas Ariana got 15. They won't give me any numbers, which is obviously a little bit fishy, but one person did mention a favored nations contract, which is where everyone on set gets paid the same amount, to which I call bullshit, because there's no fucking way that everyone got paid the same. Ariana Grande is such a big star. She deserves to be paid more, and I hope that she was. And by the way, I have no problem with her getting paid 15 million. I think it was worth it. I just think that Cynthia Erivo should have been paid like the second most on the billing list.
I think it's something to note, and a disparity that can be talked about, especially when you see how much money these movies make. You couldn't just give her like 2 at least, you know? I mean, we're talking about millions. I mean, $1 million is a lot of money. I'm over here acting like I give her another million. I mean, I don't know how their budgeting works, but Cynthia's getting a harder time like from this film, which her performance was amazing. So it sucks when you see her over here like being left out of the British press. They're just like removing her name from its headlines. A clip has gone viral on Twitter that highlights big British publications like The Times, The Daily Mail, all of which have front page Wicked press photos of Ariana without Cynthia. It's pretty ridiculous when you see this, especially because Cynthia is British. Like, she's representing the country. Now, the UK media is an entirely different animal. I mean, I've only really tapped into it, you know, I mean, of course, with various stories, but really when I talked about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, and it can get vicious. I mean, even talking about Princess Diana, that was bad too. This person who's in the UK claims that they thought Ariana was the main because of the marketing that they've seen. They've never seen the play or seen the movie, so by the advertising, you'd think it's Ariana. I want to hear what you guys think of this video in the comments below. I think it is fascinating where we started to where we ended. If you guys are still here, leave a comment below. And how are you doing? How are you doing in this new year? You know, it feels like the same old stuff, but no, actually, I love the new year, and I love like having goals and things changing, and you know, it's 2025 now, so I gotta make sure when I speak that I don't say 2024 because I'm one of those people. It's gonna take me like a month or two to really get used to it. But happy 2025 to all of you guys. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.